You're listening to Pop Leisure, and I'm your host, Lane Caddy. We're talking today about a special opportunity at the American Treasure Tour Museum. But first, something for the parents out there. I don't know about you, but I am feeling the pressure of the end of the school year. This maybe it's just me, but every year, as a working parent, at the end of the school year, the transition from every day you wake up, you know exactly what's happening, where everybody needs to be. We're making them breakfast, we're getting them to school, then I'm going to work, and then there's people handling the after school bit, and then I'm coming home after that. I have everything down in very clear, systematic procedures, and I'm so happy with it. And then every year, the school year ends, right? At some point, the school year is going to end. And so it ends, and then there's 2 weeks of chaos in my home while we figure out what the routine looks like this year. And it's different every year because the kids are aging and they need different things, and it's just complicated. So here we are on the verge of the end of the school year. We just had Memorial Day. I hope you all had a beautiful holiday. And getting into the summertime, it's fun. I'm excited about it, but I am a little stressed, and I don't know about you, but I think that summer camp can be super helpful for the kids to give them some kind of routine. However, I hate to feel like I'm sending them to more school, just like more learning that they need to do, and just not really that structure that's kind of boring. And so I want to tell you about Arnold's Camp Awesome. If you haven't heard about it, now is your opportunity. Arnold's Family Fun Center put together a comprehensive summer camp program that is full of incredible activities all week long for kids. And you buy it in 1 week segments, so it can be something you do all summer long. Each week has a theme, so it's a little different each week. Or you can go ahead and just pick 1 week that's going to be the superstar week for your kids, where they're going to feel like they went on the most incredible vacation for their summer camp. And so Arnold's Camp Awesome, it's a day activity camp, not a sleepover camp. It's a day activity camp where you're doing go-karting, laser tag, bowling, ropes course climbing, rock wall climbing, miniature golf. And every week they take the kids to a trip to the American Treasure Tour Museum to get some cool pop culture history and fun. And they also get to go to Oak Center Cinema for a movie each week, which is such a great experience. So they run around like crazy. They're fully on tilt doing all of the fun things that they love at Arnold's Family Fun Center. It's like going to a birthday party there and not having to go home for 5 days. Like, it's just incredible. And the teachers in charge are fantastic. Shout out to London and Olivia. These wonderful ladies are both child care professionals in school districts in the local area, and so wonderful. In fact, I think they both have their master's degree, or one is finishing. And I'm just really impressed with the level of effort that they're putting into, and the way that they are so able to handle all of the needs of each and every child with such care. It's really heartwarming and fantastic. So check it out, arnoldsffc.com. There's a camp button in the top corner, and you can register. Takes like 5-10 minutes to answer all the questions about your child and send in the registration link. The deposit is really easy right there online. It's a $100 deposit to reserve your spot, and the camp weekly is $400 per child per week. And I know it's not the cheapest camp in town, but it is the most fun that you could have in a week. I'm telling you, it's so great. And for the convenience of the parents out there, they do like car to door service. So there's going to be greeters that actually come and scoop the kid out of the car for you in case you have like a little baby in a car seat. You don't want to have to unbuckle and haul them in. And I get it. I know how hard it is. So they've arranged everything. They've thought of every detail to make this as fun as possible. In fact, on Friday afternoon, the parents actually get to come in early for pickup and spend an hour in the arcade with the kids. So it's so much fun. So, all right, that's one way that you can get your summer off to the right start. The registration's open now for that. I know there's a lot of beautiful camps in the area. Shout out to our friends at the YMCA. They do a great program. And we're all researching like where is the best place to put the kids if we're working this summer. So good luck to you parents out there. It's going to be okay. At least we've got the sunshine, we've got higher energy, more daylight. It's good for us. But that transition period I know is really tough for me, and I'm thinking of all of you. So that's my go-to for the kids this summer. Arnold's Camp Awesome. All right, guys, we're going to get into our next segment with Bob Trait from Oak Center Cinema. Thank you so much. Listening to Pop Leisure, and I'm your host, Lane Caddy. Pop Leisure gives you the lowdown on local happenings, movies, music, art, and entertainment. I'm joined today by Bob Trait, Director of Audience Development for Oak Center Cinema, the 24-screen movie theater right here in the heart of Oaks, Pennsylvania. This theater has been under development since Regal left in 2023. It was taken over by Valley Forge Promotions, the management group for Arnold's Family Fun Center, just down the street. It's a pleasure to have you here, Bob. Tell me what's new at Oak Center Cinema.
Well, we are getting ready for the summer this year, and it's going to be one of those great summers where we have tons of superhero movies, sci-fi movies, kids movies, horror movies. We're looking at all of these things: The Mandalorian and Grogu, Supergirl, Minions and Monsters, Toy Story 5. Can you believe Toy Story 5? So we we can even get into the spring. It's coming up on us so quick. Super Mario Galaxy, which my kids are thrilled for. They cannot wait.
Wow, it sounds like a summer for families, big time in the movie industry.
It does, and it feels like it's been a long time since we've had a summer that you can get really excited for every week.
Wow, really?
Every week? Every week, or every 2 weeks. I don't know. Some of the studios, it just seems like, well, right after we see, Super Mario, the kids can get hyped for the next Star Wars movie. And then after that, it's like 2 weeks later, there's a Toy Story to go and see. So, with, if it gets hot like it always does, it's good to go to an air-conditioned theater with the kids and watch a movie. So
yes, and this one just got extra comfortable. Tell me about that.
Well, we got the new seats, and they recline. And they have massagers. And if you're cold inside, the theater, some of them do warm up. So that's very, very nice.
Oh, like the seats, like seat heated, like in your car?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
oh, yeah. My son, who has never been to one of those kind of theaters before, figured out the massager faster than I did. So I was like, what is that thumping noise? We were watching Hoppers, and sure enough, he had the massager on. So I was suddenly jealous. I think I missed like 2 minutes of Hoppers trying to figure out how to get the massager going.
Goodness. That is so cute.
So it's, and you know what? I'm impressed he did not fall asleep, because he got to elevate his feet all the way up, but yet was still locked into the movie the whole time.
Oh, so, that's wonderful. It must have been a good movie.
It was a fun movie to watch. They make a joke in the movie that it's not Avatar, but it really is kind of Avatar.
Really?
But it's also a little bit of Being John Malkovich, if you've ever seen that movie. So it's a little bit of the combination of the two. So it's a very fun movie to take the kids to see.
Oh, that sounds like fun. And you were just saying Mario is my all-time favorite character of all time. Like, I'm so excited about the Mario movie. That one lands, is it April 1st?
April 1st. So April Fool's Day, they are dropping Super Mario Galaxy, which is the sequel to the Super Mario Brothers movie. So that was $1 billion movie when it came out.
That's the one that came out just like 2 years ago,
yeah, a couple years ago.
That was very recent.
Yes. It's just crazy how quick they turned it around. They brought the cast back. They've got a whole new people filling in, like Bowser Jr., which is Bowser's son. There's a new princess. So there's a lot of new characters, but it just looks like it's an entire like space movie too. It's very crazy, and it does lead into the original Super Mario Galaxy game. So there's little hints of that.
Did you play the game?
I did not.
Oh, I played every one of the games.
I'm not a Mario person, which is weird.
Oh,
I
Bob,
was
you're
always
missing
like,
out.
I played the original NES, and then I played like maybe like 3 of those. And then I got Super Mario World because it came with my Super Nintendo, and I never touched it until about 2 years ago. Got the old system out, plugged it in. My son is addicted.
Oh, I bet.
So
I bet.
it's great because there's no downloads every time he has to he puts the cartridge in, hits power, and he doesn't have to wait 10 minutes for the latest update.
Right.
So,
The fact that it's still on a cartridge is like so cute.
The fact that it still works.
That's even better.
That's crazy. So
Yeah.
I tell his godfather, I said, remember that Christmas present you got for me over 30 years ago, well, your godson's now playing it.
Oh, wow. That's a keeper. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Fantastic. I think Mario Galaxy was on the Wii U, which was, no, not the Wii U. What was before? Right now,
GameCube?
no. It's the Switch. We're on the Switch now, and before that was Wii U, and before that was just the Wii. It was Nintendo Wii,
Okay.
which was like the first time that you could like wave your controller around at the screen, and there was a
Yeah.
cursor that would move. And Mario Galaxy really took advantage of that in exciting ways.
Oh, okay.
So Mario is like walking on a planet, and the planet is moving around, and if you're not used to it, it can make you a little seasick because
Okay.
there's like you have to really orient yourself, and there's sometimes the gravity changes, and it was a really fun game. So the fact that the sequel movie is based on Mario Galaxy, and that's one of my favorite of the
Nice.
Mario video games, which are endlessly fun. I'm going to be first in line to see that one for sure.
Yeah, I told my wife, I go, you can take him to see this one. And I go, because I know I'm going to see it like 30 times after it, finally, goes to streaming or whatever. But I'm like, you can go to see this one. I'll go take him again on Saturday. We'll just
Right.
do one of those. So you get one in, and then I'll do the next one.
Then you'll do the next
I'll do
one,
the
and
next
2
one.
and 3 and 4 and 5.
Exactly, because I'm already we've watched the original, and he didn't go to the movies when that came out. He was far too little, so now he's like, oh, all about it's movie night, and unfortunately, movie night also means it's Mario night because we have to watch that movie for some reason. So
that's great.
I equate it to his Star Wars. Like, yeah, if I had the option, I would have watched Star Wars every time. So I
Yeah.
equate it to that. He just wants to watch Mario. He acts the whole movie out too, which is the weird part.
Oh, that's so cute.
The whole fight scene at the end with Bowser, and they're in Brooklyn, and he acts the whole scene out. It's amazing.
That's very
The
sweet.
detail. It's just it's fantastic.
Do you remember that there was a Mario Brothers movie that came out was it the early 90s?
Oh, yeah.
That was not great.
No, Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo and Dennis Hopper. It was very.
weird.
They kind of disowned it. It's very strange. There was
Very
that,
strange
and then
film.
there was another video game movie, Street Fighter, with I can't remember it was one of the guys from Party of Five, and Alyssa Milano, and it was one other person, and I cannot remember who that was, but that was another one of the weird video game movies of late 80s, early 90s.
I think the struggle was that it requires so much special effects, and we weren't like technically ready for
Right.
it. So the story just had to work around it, and it just came
And
off
animation
strange.
at that time would have been 2D, would have been far too expensive. And
Oh, yeah.
CGI animation was just like nobody was
Not
doing
happening,
that.
yeah.
So it was one of those things where I think we finally caught up with the technology, but it gave video game movies kind of a bad reputation.
Oh.
So when I had the opportunity to book Super Mario when I worked for another organization, I was like, video game movies always tank. Like, it's not going to be worth it. And then when that hit $1 billion mark, I was just like, oh my God. Like, the game
surprise.
has changed. But then,
Yes.
even then after that, I tried to book some other video game movies like Borderlands, and they tanked
Oh,
big
no.
time. And they're like, no, don't book it. Don't book it. Like, booking agents are telling me, no, don't touch it.
Right.
Don't look at the cast. It's awful.
Oh no.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a weird line. You have to like try to, shake that magic 8 ball and just hope that it tells you the truth sometimes.
Right. I think like for Mario, it's the lovableness of the characters that they've just gone, it's ubiquitous. They're everywhere and lovable
And give it up to Chris Pratt and Charlie Day. They really do solidify the brother relationship in that
yes.
movie. And for someone who has 2 sons, it's a great little thing for the oldest son to look up to, that know that he has to protect his little brother. So for me, seeing it like the 12th time, and you really start to overanalyze everything, and you're like, you know what, the message here is pretty good.
Oh.
So I kind of like that. And and even then, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong is fantastic because he just wants to make his father proud of him. And you're like, that's a good message for kids,
It
So
sure
you're like,
is.
hey, it crosses generations of people who played the game.
Yeah.
But now kids are watching it with a totally different, like, this is a fun movie. But eventually those things do start to like seek into their into their mantras and stuff. So that's the
Oh.
reason why I started to actually appreciate the movie. And then I'm like, oh, second one's coming out. It wasn't just like, yeah, something to do for an hour and a half. It was more like, no, the first one was really good story wise. So I hope my son hope this one is just half as good.
Agreed. Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That the story just holds up, and all-star cast. They got Chris Pratt is staying on for this
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Good.
yeah. And Charlie Day from Always Sunny in Philadelphia is just, oh my God. You watch him in an Always Sunny Philadelphia episode,
He's
and then,
funny.
he's just so ridiculous as Charlie. And then you go and watch him as Luigi, and you're like, that's the voice. But man, he really is the best cast member on that TV show. He
It's
really
so
is
funny.
a good actor.
That's the kind of thing there that like I didn't place in the first one, Charlie Day as Luigi. And now that I know it, the whole time I'm watching Luigi, I'm going to be seeing Charlie Day's face.
It's crazy because my wife, who also loves movies, we sit there and try to do voices, and we didn't like, who is that? Who is that? I could not get Chris Pratt. Like, that was the one I couldn't do.
Yeah.
But as soon as he came up, Luigi, that was Charlie Day. There was no,
You know him immediately.
There was
Yes.
no way around it. I'm like, no, that's Charlie.
Yes,
Day.
he has a very distinctive voice, and now that you say it, I know I'm going to be like knowing that it's him the whole time. But Chris Pratt, you're right. He doesn't sound terribly much like Chris Pratt as
No.
Mario. He's
Yeah.
like whatever he's done with his voice to be in that character.
Yeah.
It doesn't make me just think of him in all of his other
Right.
roles while he's
Right.
doing that.
Well, the Lego movie, I saw that like at least 10 times. And then you do the Guardians of the Galaxies movies and stuff, the Avengers movies. So I've heard his voice a lot. And
Yes, you have.
it's not as if he's doing a character voice, but it's just a little bit off of his. So it's
Yeah.
just a little bit there, but it's really a good performance by him.
He
it
plays
really
it
is.
well.
Yeah.
That's very true. Very true. Awesome. Well, Bob, I am going to end this segment and thank you very much for your time. And we are going to see you again and again. I'd love to hear more about all the different things that are going on and what movies are coming up this summer at Oak Center Cinema. Thanks a lot, Bob.
Thank you, Lane.
All right, we'll see you. You're listening to Pop Leisure, and I'm your host, Lane Caddy. Hi, how's it going? I am talking a lot about movies today because I'm freshly back from CinemaCon in Las Vegas, Nevada, there to see all of the groundbreaking, newest and latest from the cinema industry, and had a great time. I've got to talk to you a little bit about the latest in actual movie screens. So for many, many years, a movie is something that you watch on a big white or silver screen. It's essentially a giant sheet that you can hang up with a projector, very high quality projectors these days. You can remember the reel-to-reel projectors from ages ago when film was actually on a piece of film and they came in these giant discs. And I could not tell you too much about the history of that. I'll have to get Bob on here and he can talk all about the development of the different reels. But more recently, projectors are laser quality projectors. And they're projecting from the back of the room to the front of the room onto a giant screen. And that's been the way of movies since their inception. But here at the most recent CinemaCon in Las Vegas, I had the delightful pleasure of watching some trailers on Samsung's newest DCI certified Onyx Cinema LED direct view screen. Now, that was a whole lot of words. Let's break it down. Samsung, you know and love, is one of your finest retailers, suppliers, manufacturers of electronics. Forgive me, maybe they're not retailers. I don't even know. But Samsung creates electronics. We know this. DCI certified basically means that the movie industry allows you to play first-run movies on this device. So, and that's a huge hurdle for a lot of projectors that are on the market are not DCI compliant, and we cannot use them in a commercial theater. So, Samsung has created this direct view, means that it's like a TV. It's a giant TV, cinema LED screen. So it's LED powered, enormous television, and it's called Onyx. So the Onyx Direct View screen by Samsung is the newest and latest of movie-going innovations, we'll say. It announced just last year that Onyx LED mega screens are available for commercial use and installation in cinemas in both the Europe and in US. And why go to LED mega screens from projection? Like, surely it's very much more expensive, and it is. But, let me tell you why. So I don't know about you, but when it was time to purchase a new television for my home use, it took about 3 months to decide which one to get, right? Because there are so many variables on the market and they're better and better and better. Like on a daily basis, that you can see 8K OLED, and you want the very best of true black levels and high range of friendly bright colors, and you have all of these qualifications where you want the picture to be so real in front of you, like you could just walk into it. And in movies, the projector can provide, I think generally it's about 2K. So you're getting a high quality image and a lot of brightness. And I'm not knocking the traditional projector image. However, this Onyx Direct View is taking it to the next level. So if you're a person who has to have the very finest and that you just really enjoy, like I do, I put on 8K screensavers and just watch like paint globs falling into water. I find it mesmerizing. So if you really enjoy that kind of crystal clear picture with deep, deep darks and bright, bright colors, it might be worth looking into for you and for us at Oak Center Cinema. We are talking about it. I'm not going to make any promises because, it's a huge investment. In fact, part of the reason I'm bringing it up even is to see kind of what you guys think. Email me, popleisureshow@gmail.com. And let me know if you would, say, pay an additional $5 a ticket to watch the same movie on this direct view Onyx screen. They're looking at like 14 meters, 15 meters, which is almost 50 feet wide. It is a 4K screen, and it comes with all of these bells and whistles that I'm talking about, the deep, deep darks and the really bright brights. And it also has a 3D mode that is even better than the projected 3D. So the 3D really just feels like it's just walking off the screen at you. So that's pretty excited. I'm looking at an article here from Forbes, and it says the Onyx screens are the first cinema LED displays to be certified by the Commercial Theater World's Digital Cinema Initiatives Consortium. That's the one I was telling you about. Is very important. A group of major motion picture studios, which was formed to establish specifications for a common architecture for digital cinema systems. Basically, just anybody in the commercial movie business has to be DCI compliant. While Onyx screens have been installed in a small number of theaters in Samsung's native South Korea, the brand has seemingly struggled to move the technology to a position where it can be shipped, installed, and supported on a much wider scale. Now, though, it looks like Onyx is finally ready to make its bid for world domination. Wow, that's saying a lot, Forbes. I hope that you're right because it sounds like a lot of fun. The 4K resolution is dazzling. It says playing films at frame rates up to 120 hertz, raising the potential for more filmmakers to start working with higher frame rates. Again, following the pioneering work of Peter Jackson, Ang Lee, and most recently James Cameron, who used shifting frame rates in Avatar: The Way of the Water. So, I'm excited. We got to sample the goodies at CinemaCon in Las Vegas, and it was really pretty dazzling, the picture, I got to say. And I'd like to know what you think. I really, really would. So, again, that's on Instagram at Pop Leisure Show or popleisureshow@gmail.com. Let me know if you think it's worth it. If you think it's worth it, if you think people will show up for it, because we don't want to like get that deep into it and then feel like, oh, I don't know if anybody's really that into it. But I think that things are headed this way. And on the heels of my conversation about the Sphere building in Las Vegas, which was so spectacular. It was such a spectacular experience. And I think that kind of made me feel even more confident that this is the way of the future because the entire Sphere building is built with this sort of technology, this direct view. Those images are not projected from a projector. They're LED, tiny rows and rows and rows of tiny little LED lights that are creating the image in front of you. And the potential is enormous. So I'm interested in what you think about it. Do you think that the greater Philadelphia, Oaks, Phoenixville, Norristown, Royersford, Springford area and more, our little neck of the woods, would support a 50-foot Onyx Direct View screen in our movie theater. Let me know what you think. This is Lane Caddy at Pop Leisure Show. We'll talk to you soon. You're listening to Pop Leisure, and I'm your host, Lane Caddy. Pop Leisure gives you the lowdown on local happenings, movies, music, art, and entertainment. Let us know what's going on in your neck of the woods at Pop Leisure Show on Instagram or email popleisureshow@gmail.com. I'm joined today by Ashley Gallio, manager of the fascinating American Treasure Tour Museum. But before we get into more information about the museum, Ashley, I want to learn more about you. Hey, lady, what's happening?
Hey.
How you doing?
Good. How are you, Lane?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm so happy to have this conversation with you because we work together, but you're like my pal. I think you're so much fun. And, I've never really even asked you things like, well, like, where are you from?
I'm from Conshohocken, so not too far.
Born and raised, like a lot of time in Conshohocken.
So when I was like 18, or actually, I moved out to Oregon for a little bit. So I'm from Conshohocken, but I moved out to Oregon, and since I came back, I've kind of been all over the place. Like I lived in Schwanksville for a little bit, and
oh, that's a nice town.
Yeah,
oh, good.
I did like Schwanksville a lot.
Yeah. It's really cute up there. And so close to that, the park. What's the park right across from Ott's Greenhouse? Plank Park.
Okay.
Is that the one?
I've never been to it.
Oh, really?
I know that Evansburg is out there, and there's like out that
Yes.
direction anyway.
Yes, I've been hiking in Evansburg State Park, and I feel like there's a few houses inside of Evansburg State Park where people live. And I thought that was so unusual.
Yeah.
But maybe it's not. Like maybe that's a normal thing. But it surprised me when I was hiking and like came upon a home.
Yep,
that
I
seemed
had the
lived in.
same reaction.
Yes, yeah. It seems surprising. I don't know about that. Somebody, if you know more, tell us. We're dying to know what's going on there because it doesn't seem like a normal setup for a state park. But like, hey, whatever.
Yeah,
That's all right.
make your own rules.
Yeah, make your own rules. I feel like I need to learn more about the Oregon adventure. Where did you live in Oregon?
I lived in Mount Hood, so Zigzag, Oregon, and Rhododendron. I kind of had two places while I was out there.
That sounds beautiful.
Yeah, it was really nice. So it was like up a mountain, like a snow-capped mountain, Mount Hood.
Yes, that's a
And-
very recognizable mountain.
Yeah, and I lived off a Forest Service road, kind of in the middle of the wilderness. There was like a neighborhood out there, but it was just,
That's almost like our friends in Evansburg State Park that be living in the park.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Wow, it sounds like such a way to like absorb nature and beauty and good for you. You said it was a couple years?
Yeah, I lived there. Yeah, about 2 years I lived out there.
I'm so glad that you came back.
Me too. Honestly, the Eagles won the Super Bowl, and I was out there the first time, and I was out there, and everyone was calling me, and they're like, Ashley, we just won, and getting so excited, and they're like, this is great, and I got FOMO. And I felt so left out. And I'm like watching the game from Oregon, and I'm like, I need to go back to Philly. That night got on my phone, and I ordered a trailer on U-Haul
To get your stuff over here.
to get my stuff over here. Yeah,
That
I was
is
like,
hilarious.
I'm going home.
The Eagles brought her home, guys. The Eagles. Are you a big sports fan?
No, it was the FOMO.
It was just like
the
they're
Eagle-
all be having fun, and here I am the whole way across the country.
Yeah, it was.
I love it.
Don't get me wrong. I had great friends out there, and we had a really great time. It's just a different pace out there.
Oh, definitely.
Philly people have just this thing that not a lot of people have anywhere else. I was
Yes.
missing it.
It's almost aggressive, if I'm being honest.
Yes. Yes.
But we're used to it, so we're comfortable here, right?
Yeah.
That's so funny. Well, I am, for so many reasons, tremendously glad that you came back. One, because you're just lovely and I love spending time with you. But also because the American Treasure Tour Museum is like so exciting, and you make it so exciting too.
Thank you.
Really do. You have such a big part in the way that people experience the museum. How did you come to be the manager there?
So I saw a job listing for a track manager for the go-kart track for Arnold's Family Fun Center, which is the sister company. And I applied for that job, came in and interviewed, and they made me the front desk manager after
Instead-
that
sure,
instead of
yeah,
the track manager.
uh-huh.
And at some point, Cindy, the manager who used to be at the Treasure Tour, she came over and she was like, "Would you like to do tours?" And it was already on my radar, the museum.
Oh,
and
had you been to it at this point?
So David mentioned it to me, the manager of Arnold's mentioned it to me, and I had popped in. Like, I left work one day and I stopped around because I had to see it immediately.
Kind of poked your head
and
in.
I poked my head in, but I didn't have enough time to stay.
Okay.
So I got like a taste of it and I was like, oh man, like I really need to see this. And so right after that, Cindy came and asked me like, hey, would you like to do tours of the museum? And I was like, inside scoop, like, that beats going to visit the tour. Like, I get to like give tours of it. Yeah. Like sign
learn
me
about
up.
like what's going on up there. Oh wow. So you had just like a tiny little taste and you were like, yes, I want more.
Yes.
Oh
yeah.
wow.
And,
Oh wow.
And then Cindy had stepped down at some point, and I went to Jerry, the CEO, and I said, "Can I be the manager of the Treasure Tour?" And so, yeah.
Good for you, girl. Wow, that's so cool. What a cool story. Like it's so, you never know what's going to happen, right? You started out, you were front desk manager at Arnold's and the whole thing just evolved and then and how many years have you been the manager there?
Oh,
I say years because I know it's been a number of years. I don't remember.
You lose
lose
track
count.
when you're having fun.
That's okay. So much fun we don't even know. That's all right.
I think I've been with the company for about 4 years.
Sure.
And the Treasure Tour I've probably managed for
Two or three.
2.5, 3 years.
That sounds about right. It's funny. We're like deciding together. Like, yeah, probably.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. Well, like I said, you're have such a bright spirit that everybody can read from across a room. Like you're so energetic and positive, and it's such
Thank
great
you.
vibes, and you bring it to work with you, and I love that. And the tour is really, when I think about what ties together everything in the museum, because it is eclectic and it's an eclectic mix of things. And it's like, well, what brings all of these things into one place? And it's fun. The answer is fun.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
So you really need to bring that fun energy to it and helping people to get to a place where they can have fun, because we're all so intensely busy these days, and we're, distracted, and we're frustrated, we're stuck in traffic, we're stuck in our phones, we're dealing with a lot of seriousness, and it can be hard for people even when they intend to, like they come out to a place like that intending to have some quality time with their friends, their family, and have fun. And it's like a long uphill journey to even get there for a lot of people.
Right.
Right. And I think that having people there that give that kind of energy, it goes such a huge way in helping people get into that mindset. Like, oh, this is fun. We're having fun now.
Thank you.
Yeah. So props to you. You really keep the spirit fun.
Thank you.
And I think that is making the experience there like so special for so many people. We definitely see a lot of amazing, feedback from the guests. Do you have any memorable ones, like feedback from guests that just had an amazing time?
We generally get, not particularly. We do get a ton of, good feedback.
Yeah, super excited reviews. Like
yeah.
I read through the reviews on Google and go, wow, thank you. That's so. This makes us even happier to see that the mission accomplished. People are having fun.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It always tickles me when I go on those reviews and I see friendly staff, and even when even if there's like an issue of any sort, which is so rare, it says, "Oh, but the staff was friendly."
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, yes. Good job, guys.
Crushing it. Way to go. Way to go, team at the American Treasure Tour Museum. Actually, it's not the only one. There's a whole team of people there. They're really all like top-notch folks.
Oh, yeah.
Top-notch
Definitely.
folks. Yes, definitely very friendly. Well, there's an event coming up at the Treasure Tour Museum Sunday, June 14th. There's a special tour. It's not the regular run-of-the-mill tour. Sunday, June 14th from 6 to 9 p.m. It's a 3-hour event. Tell me about that.
So this is our special director's tour on that evening. And so normally when you come to the museum, there's a 35 to 40-minute tram ride, and you get to do the walking tours. One of them is a classic car walking tour, and the other one is our music room. But with this special experience, you actually get to get off the tram, which takes up about 75% of the collection. So normally you would be, on the tram, which is also an amazing experience.
Oh, definitely.
But this is a super exclusive experience where you get to walk around with the director, Ross Brockman, and he tells you more about the collection that you don't hear in our normal tram tour. And it's also an experience if you're very interested in something specific in the museum, you can tell the director that, and Ross will go into a little bit more detail about the items that you're interested in. So it's your tour.
Wow, that's such an opportunity because we do get a lot of questions. I hear a lot of questions like, oh, can I get off the tram and go see, behind or up close something? Or if you took the tour and you can't stop thinking about the one thing that you wanted to understand better or wanted to take a picture or video of that you weren't on the moving tram. That's one of the reasons for this, right? That you get people saying like, oh, I just want more.
Yeah.
We just want more. We want a little more of the American Treasure Tour Museum. So this is the opportunity. Sunday, June 14th. It's a special director's tour. Tickets are available at AmericanTreasureTour.com right now that you can buy your tickets online, reserve your spot. It's very limited. This is an exclusive thing. I think it's limited to maybe 20, 25 people so that it's really can be that catered to the interests of all the guests. And Ross does such a great job. He's like a historian of the items. That's really his main bag is knowing. He knows so much.
Everything.
So much about. And what's crazy is there are just millions and millions of things in the collection to know about, and he can really illuminate on most of them.
It's true.
It's
you pick a wall. You put him in front of a wall at the museum, and there's many, many walls filled with many stuff. But if you just, put him in front of one, and he can tell you, talk for an hour about just the items that are in front of him. He's just so knowledgeable. And he puts the displays up and moves things around in the museum. And I think he has the opportunity to, as he's putting things up, see them in a way that, other people don't necessarily get to see the detail sometimes when you're looking at the collection as a whole. So, as he's putting a photo up, you get that personal moment with that photo, oh, this is here. So I think that may have something to do with why he's so, knowledgeable about where everything is in the museum. And
that's something I hadn't even thought about, that he is also the curator. So he is kind of arranging all of the collections to be displayed really well and collected into different categories. And while he is doing that, he, for instance, has the opportunity to turn a framed image over and see if it's signed or dated or in some way kind of referenced on the back the origin, and whether it is or not, he then would have the opportunity to do a little digging, ask some questions, and find out more. So he definitely has extra special access, and because he is passionate about it, he loves to find out more.
Yes.
It's not just that he has the access to do it, but that he has the desire, and he's a sponge. He just he retains so much more information than I feel I have the capacity to. It's very impressive.
Agreed.
Very impressive.
He went to South Africa last week, and
No kidding.
I was texting him last night, asking him questions about South Africa history, and he spit off percentages. All I did was send a text message, and he was listing facts with percentages and stuff.
Amazing
just such
stats.
a good
Here's
memory.
the stats of the country.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness. Way to go, Ross. You're something else. We think you're great. That's fantastic. And so Ross is the guy heading up the Special Directors Tour. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to Pop Leisure Show. I'm Lane Caddy, and I'm talking here with Ashley Gallio, the director of the American Treasure Tour Museum in Oaks, Pennsylvania. It's a really fascinating pop culture museum that has 100,000 square feet of fascinating items. And I'll let Ashley tell you even more about it, just kind of as an overview. If you've never been there before, Ashley, how do you describe this to people?
So the museum is made up of one man's collection of Americana over the span of about 60 years. I would say the items date from about the 1870s to present day. The museum is over 100,000 square foot of pop culture, and it's floor to ceiling. It's almost impossible to describe just how many items are in this museum until you see it with your own eyes. We really specialize in nostalgia and overwhelming the senses.
That is true. It is overwhelming. Like, well, you can describe it. I feel like it was described to me verbally many times before the first time that I set foot into that space. And you kind of think, like you're like, okay, yeah, I get it. And you just not until the tram turns that one corner that you're like, oh my word.
Yep.
This is like nothing that I will ever see again.
Yeah. It's like, when you think of being inside of a building, you think of where the roof is, where you're standing at the current moment. You're like, oh yeah, there's the ceiling. And then you turn that corner and there's the world's largest Gumby standing 22 feet tall inside of the building just to, set the mood for the tour. And it just, you're like, oh, I'm not where I thought I was.
No, totally bananas. And if you wonder to yourself, well, where does the world's tallest Gumby come from? I don't know, but Ross knows, and he will tell you. Does Ashley know?
It's from Virginia.
She
I know
knows.
it came from Virginia.
It came from Virginia. I imagine it must have been outdoors because the thing is like 2 stories, 3 stories tall.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, it was
outdoors.
Like outside of
Wow.
a building in Virginia. I don't know the details, but I did see some postings about it.
Yeah, he is one of my most beloved items in the tour.
Yeah,
like,
he's
just
amazing.
so cool. I mean, and Gumby is a really cool character to begin with, right?
really
And just
is.
you imagine him. He's claymation, and so you imagine him 6 inches tall. And when you see him 23 feet tall, it's like totally mind blowing.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a lot of fun.
Gumby held up pretty well as well.
Yeah, he's in really good shape.
The show as well. Like I watched.
Oh, I
Gumby
thought you
clips.
meant the 23-foot tall the one. He is in good
Yes,
condition. I don't
he
know how
is.
old he is, but he's in great condition.
He is.
But the show itself is like, do you see it around? Where do you see
Not
it?
too long ago, because of the giant Gumby, I thought to myself, I used to watch Gumby when I was younger. Like,
Yeah.
let me just, watch a few episodes. And I don't know if it was the nostalgia for me, but I was tickled. I was like, this held up so well.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Where could you find an episode on? I'm kind of curious if we can like stream it somewhere.
If I know me, it was YouTube.
Oh, okay. You could get some Gumby on YouTube.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to look that up, like who has the rights to it. Because you know how with streaming services, it's always like a matter of like who bought the rights, where can I watch it? And
Yeah.
we'll see if we can find out more where you can watch Gumby in the future. Because I'd really like to give that a test drive as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because some things that you watched, 100 years ago, well, not that many. You watched them 20 years ago. You think to yourself, like, is that still good to me now? And real mixed results on that, I'm going to say.
Seriously, I watched Thumbelina last night. I don't know if you're familiar with that one.
I am. How'd it do for you?
It was mixed.
Not as great this
Not
time.
as great this
No.
time, but it wasn't terrible either. I watched it through all the way, so that's worth something.
Well, I don't know. It's like, did you love it more when you were tiny because it's really made for children and that's like the mindset that you got to be in? Or is it didn't stand the test of time and even kids now wouldn't love it as much because there's just more impressive stuff going now?
I think it's just looking at it from an adult perspective for me personally. Like, I think kids today would probably have the same reaction.
They'd love it.
But now then we're more realistic now. And
Right.
we're like watching these fairy tales and it's like, oh, that's not how life works.
Yeah, you kind of just get stuck with like grown-up brain, and it's really like we were even talking earlier about how it can be hard even just to go to a museum or a fun center and get in the headspace of like I'm having fun now, even
Right.
as an adult, like just like shake off whatever my problems are and just concentrate on like being in the moment and having fun.
Yep.
That can be challenging. So even more so to sit down and watch Thumbelina and try to really like be in the zone with it, right? It just I know that's challenges. We have challenges.
Yeah.
Is Thumbelina in the museum? I don't know. I haven't seen her.
I haven't seen her either, but now I'm going to watch out real well.
Right. We're going to like be looking around because you never know. Like she might be there somewhere.
Sometimes you just move a Nickelodeon and there's like posters all behind it,
Oh,
And
wow. Really?
yeah, that happened. We found was a Snow White 2 poster. I didn't even know there was a Snow White 2.
I agree. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, Snow White too.
Yeah.
And it was all Disney, the same animation, same voices probably. We don't know. We've never seen it.
And yeah, I know. All I found was the poster.
There's another thing we need to look up. Who's got Snow White too? We're dying to see it. I wonder how it ends because it kind of feels like that story is kind of wrapped up at the end. I'm not expecting more from that story.
Now I'm like second guessing myself. Was it Snow White 2?
I don't know. There's a Cinderella 2. I do know that. Cinderella has a 2 and I think a 3 as well.
Snow White.
We're curious. Yeah, here it is. It exists.
It does.
We're going to have to watch that. But again, maybe I'll get my kids to watch it and tell me if it's any good because I might have trouble being in like kid headspace for it.
Happily Ever After, it's called.
But she looks different though.
Yeah.
That is not the Snow White that we've come to know and love from Disney. She looks weird.
She grew her hair out.
I kind of wonder, okay, there's a whole Wikipedia page on it. Happily Ever After, Snow White, Happily Ever After, 1989 film. There's a Wikipedia page. We got to read this. I don't think it's Disney because it doesn't look like her at all. I wonder if they somehow, and it doesn't say Snow White 2, it says Happily Ever After. So I wonder if they like creatively avoid using her name. No, it says Snow White.
Snow White, the story continues.
The story continues. I have so many questions. All right. Well, that is a rabbit hole for another day. We don't have to like really stay in there. But like, these are the kinds of things. Like you said, you move a piece of furniture and behind it is like 6 posters of who knows what.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a million ways that the movies do tie in with Oak Center Cinema. In fact, we've been talking about specifically the Ark. Tell me about the Ark.
So the Ark of the Covenant was one of our donated items, actually. Well, most of the museum was purchased by our anonymous collector.
Yes.
That we have in recent years we've had people reaching out to us with items that they want people to see and want to donate to us, and we've taken them, and one of those items was the Ark of the Covenant. That was an amazing email like, hey, would you guys like an Ark of the Covenant? How quickly can we be there to get that?
Well, I have questions though, because the Ark of the Covenant is the box, for lack of a better word, that Moses put the tablets of the 10 Commandments that were written into the Ark of the Covenant, and it was like kept housed in a temple, and there's a whole ancient history of this specific box. So when you say Ark of the Covenant, what do you mean specifically? Because surely it is not Moses' one.
Yes, that's good clarification. So it is a replica Ark of the Covenant from Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark, and we can't confirm that it was necessarily the one that was in the film. There was multiple on set, is what we were told.
Oh, how many were there? Do we know?
I'm not certain.
We don't know.
I'm not certain, but this is one that was on set during the filming.
May have been used. It is what you see in the movie.
That's correct. Yes.
Oh, wow, how exciting. That is really cool. And that is displayed in part of the self-guided portion of the tour. So you can walk up and take your time with it. And we were talking about for the director's tour, one of the benefits is that you're not moving through the tram ride space. If when you can stop and get off the ride and really zoom in and take some better photos and videos if that's what you're there for. But the nice thing about the self-guided portion is that you have that ability to kind of really take your time and get the best possible photos of the space. Yep. So the Raiders of the Lost Ark of the Covenant replica is there, may or may not have been in the film, but it is the actual, like the very same thing that you see in the film. And I know that we're talking about doing some cool collaboration in the future. More details to come on this. I think September is what they're aiming for, to actually show Raiders of the Lost Ark at Oak Center Cinema and maybe like borrow. They're talking about borrowing it and like bringing it for the screening, which would be really cool.
Yeah, that would make it just such a more personal experience, you know?
Yes.
As long as no one opened it.
Right? Yeah. What happens if you open it?
Well,
for the uninitiated.
I'm pretty sure.
I think you die.
in the movie. Yeah, like it like everyone fries.
They turn to like ashes all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I have to really rack my brain. It's been forever since I've seen that movie. But yeah, I think it doesn't bode well.
Yeah, I just remember them looking away when they opened it, like save yourself, look
Save
away.
yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. So so we'll bring it over and we'll carry it there ourselves, and we'll just put a spotlight on it, and you shouldn't touch it. That's which is probably also true of things at the museum. You shouldn't touch it, but it's great to see.
Yeah.
Great to see. What other ways do some movies show up at the American Treasure Tour Museum?
So the second you walk into the museum, the Blues Brothers are staring at you, dancing in the lobby.
Oh, they are so cute.
Yeah.
Yes. And they're like life size. They're like, you could walk up and shake their hand practically.
Yeah, they're
That's
probably
great.
our most popular photo opportunity, taking pictures with the Blues
That's
Brothers.
So great.
And then our music room, while it's filled with all kinds of mechanical music, almost the entire walls are lined with movie posters.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So if you really pay attention, you know what? I'm saying, oh, wow, because I honestly didn't really realize that, because I'm so into the mechanical music machines when I'm in there and listening and watching how they work, which is so fascinating. And I know that if you look up, you do see a lot of vinyl records also. I didn't even realize that it's mostly movie posters from through the ages on the wall there as well.
Yeah, it's wild how like there's layers to the museum. Like,
Right. I'm in the same space as you, picturing it to myself, the same space. And you're telling me about something that I like didn't even really know was there. And I've been there a lot. Suffice to say, I've been there a lot. And that is the beauty of it. It's not a once and done thing. It's something that people come back regularly because you can have this experience over and over again. And it is, first of all, it is different at times in the future, isn't it? Like you'll find that you're going to have, actual additions to the collection from one time to another.
Yes.
And then in addition to that, even if there wasn't, there are things that you just don't see because it is such an overload for the senses that you can really just focus on a different thing each time.
Yeah. It's almost impossible to really pick up everything that's in any of the rooms that are in that museum with like our normal human senses, I would say.
know,
Like
right?
it's just so overwhelming.
I need like a third eye.
Yeah. I've been there for, like I said, years. And just the other day, I was driving the tram through the building, and there's a giant Big Bird plush. And I'm like, was that always there? And they're like, yeah.
Oh, it was always there?
There's always been a Big Bird. I'm talking like the thing is as tall as I am.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
And I didn't notice. It's
Never saw it.
wild. I've done thousands of tours.
Right? Never saw it.
Never saw it.
Big Bird, like, and is there other Sesame Street characters with him?
There is.
Oh, how
There's
sweet.
the Cookie Monster, and who else is there?
Bert and Ernie.
The Count, Bert and Ernie.
How about Oscar? He's my favorite. He's so grumpy.
I think he is there.
There's something I sort of love about a grumpy grump. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, it's okay. You're going to be all right. Oscar, we love you. You know, Sesame Street has changed a lot over the years also. We were talking about like the test of time with kids content. I mean, they're still making brand new Sesame Street, but there's like all different. There's Abby and Zoe, and there's new characters that I'm like, I don't remember them.
Is the Veggie Monster still a thing?
I have never heard of. Tell me about the Veggie Monster. I don't know.
I heard that. Maybe it was just like hearsay, but I swore I heard once upon a time, years ago, this must be, that they were getting rid of the Cookie Monster and switching out for the Veggie Monster. But
oh my heavens, that's hysterical. Somebody fact check us. I email me, seriously, popleisureshow@gmail.com. Is there a Veggie Monster on Sesame Street? I have to know. That is hilarious. And I sort of get it. Like, I'm a fitness freak. I am. Like, my little boxed lunch is like cucumbers and avocado and chicken and cottage cheese. Like, so I sort of appreciate it because that's a good messaging for kids, like veggie. And how hard is it to get the kids to eat well, right? They need some better messaging for it.
Yeah.
But there's something extra funny about that, like, because the Cookie Monster is like a cute concept. Like, this makes more sense a little bit.
Yeah, and he's super nostalgic, and
Yes, yeah,
So who
with the
knows?
blue guy with the cookie jar, and he just rams them in his mouth. That is. I can't picture it as well with broccoli. Like, I want to see it. I think I need to see it. We'll find out. Maybe this is like completely made up in our minds. I don't
could
know.
be.
This
Someone
could be
was
fake
messing with me,
news.
maybe.
Yeah, right. Yeah, let us know, guys. We're dying to know. And also, not only does the Veggie Monster exist, but do we support it? I want to say, yeah, I kind of do, even though it's sort of ridiculous.
I would support it. I do support it so long as the Cookie Monster is his friend.
Yes, there you go. There you go. We think that they should both exist and that they should be friends.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, not that the Veggie Monster is at the American Treasure Tour Museum, but you can see the entire Sesame Street, and maybe not the entire Sesame Street cast, but a whole lot of them on display at the American Treasure Tour Museum. That's part of the tram ride tour. The museum is so big, 100,000 square feet, that the tram ride takes you through most of it on a ride so that you don't have to walk it, which I think is quite a relief. When you go to a big museum like the Smithsonian or something, it's kind of daunting, particularly if you have like a small child or someone elderly, that you feel like might be kind of hard for us to physically manage this huge space. So you get to see a lot, and all of the things are fun things, whether they're mechanical music machines, classic cars, animatronics of all kinds, holiday displays, endless fun circus things. There's tiny miniature flea circuses in addition to sideshow posters and just the most fun stuff you can imagine. And it is really chock-a-block, floor to ceiling full. And the ride through, I think, adds to that layer of what makes it fun.
Definitely.
Yeah. And it's a museum that doesn't take itself too seriously, right? Where it is different. It's not behind glass and, in that kind of museum sense that you think of when you think museum. It's something different. And it is really a super fun thing to do on the weekends with your family. In fact, it's been so popular lately that we do sometimes sell out certain times. So the tram leaves. Tell us about the timing.
So we're open from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays, and we're open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Sundays and Mondays. Mm-hmm. But our trams leave every hour on the half hour. Okay. So we open at 10, they start at 10:30, and then 11:30, 12:30, all the way until 6:30 on Friday and Saturday, and our last tour leaves at 4:30 on Sunday and Monday.
So if I got 10:30 tickets, I might want to come at 10 and kind of just see what there is to see, look around, and then get ready for my actual ride through the museum at 10:30. Yep. So that's the concept there. And we definitely recommend getting your tickets ahead of time at AmericanTreasureTour.com because limited space available on each ride through, and they leave once an hour. So, and it's convenient to know when your tram is leaving. You have you're scheduled out and you're like ready to go for it. Then walk-ins are also always welcome, but if you walk in and expect a certain tram time, you might end up having to take a later one if they happen to be really booked up that day. Yeah. But I think that the director's tour, for if you've ever been there, or maybe you've never been there, but you're like, I've got to get the full experience. Again, that's Sunday, June 14th at 6:00, and you do have to pre-purchase your tickets for that. They are available at the same rate on the homepage at AmericanTreasureTour.com. And Ashley, is there anything else I'm missing about telling the good people about how to see us, how to connect with the American Treasure Tour Museum?
Yeah, so on our social media accounts, we have YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. If you follow us, we post videos weekly about more inside looks of things that are happening at the museum and items at the museum. And we also publish our events, like what's up and coming.
Sure.
So if you're interested in getting involved with one of our director tours or maybe even one of our photography workshops that are coming up, like August 1st, we have the Uncovering PA photography workshop.
Oh, cool.
You can see that information by following us on any of our social media pages.
And it's at American Treasure Tour?
At American Treasure Tour on
All
Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or YouTube.
All of them. That is so great. I definitely, guys, if you're on Instagram, it is one of the coolest Instagram pages, and just fun little, like we're talking about the whole time. The museum is based on fun, and so each little Instagram post is just a little bright spot of fun in your day, and it really is. And they put together some great stuff. Props again to you, Ashley. You put
Thank
together
you.
some great stuff that people really enjoy. And like I said, it doesn't take away from your experience of the museum, because the museum has such endless things to offer and to see that you're not going to like ruin the experience. Trust me. By following on Instagram and getting these like fun little daily insight things. I just love them. I think it's really great. Really great. Well, all right, guys. So you've heard it here. If you'd like to get in touch with the Treasure Tour Museum, it's AmericanTreasureTour.com, or follow them at American Treasure Tour on all social platforms. I'll say, I'm sure we're missing a few, but the big ones. That's where you can get in touch. And also there are opportunities for private tours, events. If you want to get in touch even further, go to the website and there's a contact information there that you can get in touch with Ashley herself, and she'll help you book out something if you want to have. I had a beautiful birthday party there about a year ago, and it was so much fun. And I'll say this about the birthday party. What's cool is whenever I have a party like that, and I think most people agree with me, you're bringing in people from a lot of different aspects of your life. So I'm bringing in some of my neighbors, some of my colleagues, my family, my husband's family. And so there's a lot of people that don't know each other really well, and we're all going to share a party together. And what happened was we all got there. We had a little appetizers, lovely appetizers, and then we did the tour ride through the museum. And then we came back, and everybody had a shared experience to talk about. And honestly, socially, it was the easiest party I've ever thrown, because it made it so easy for you to sit next to someone that you absolutely don't know and say, how about that? I just thought that giant Gumby was like so nostalgic for me, and that was my favorite part. What did you think? And they'll say, oh, I just love classic cars, and they'll start rattling off the stats of some Corvette that they saw. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys, not a car person. I don't know. But there are some fascinating cars there, and they'll tell you all about that. And so you have this shared experience for the party that brings people together, and it was such a perfect solution as far as like what to do to have a party for me. So highly recommend, get in touch with Ashley. She'll help you out. She'll set you up with a birthday party.
It's a very interesting perspective.
I mean it though. Yeah. I really mean it. It was super helpful in bringing together lots of people. And there are other purposes for that, maybe like team building, company events. It's another super helpful way to have an event where everybody has a shared experience so that they're more comfortable just kind of getting to know each other.
Yeah.
It's terrific. It's been wonderful getting to know you more today, Ashley.
Likewise.
Thank you so much for joining us. All right, guys, this is Pop Leisure signing out for the day. Have a super good one. Bye.